Hi everyone, my name is Huub Hildenbrand. Thanks for tuning into my channel, Huub Hildenbrand Guitar Academia. Today we have lesson 8 of functional harmony, and we see it in this course a bit different than usually. So we combine this more with a chord scale theory to have a more linear approach. And by the way, later on we will talk about a lot. We will talk a lot about 3-note structures actually, and the application of all these functions and these progressions to real harmonic structures, to voicings on the guitar. Okay, but today we will talk about the Neapolitan chord. So let's get right into the endless ocean of music. There's also a PDF file you should download. Just follow the link down in the description below. So we will talk about the Neapolitan chord. What is a Neapolitan chord? When you look at it in a very simple way, from maybe more from this jazz angle or with this Roman numeral analysis system, you can say, oh, it's just a major chord on the flat second degree of a minor, in this case, of a minor chord. I mean, this of a minor tonality. This is also this Neapolitan chord is also possible in a major tonality, but it's much more natural and diatonic if you use this and explain it also in the minor tonality. So in a way, it's just a major chord on the flat second degree. So we are, with this course, we are in E all the time, in this case in E minor, and on the flat second degree we have F. So it's an F major chord. But when we look at it more from this classical perspective, to look at each note and to get more into detail about this chord, and also its origin, probably, it's actually a subdominant chord, subdominant minor chord. It's A minor, but instead of the E, the fifth, we have an F. And just by doing that, A minor, and then the E goes to F. Let me demonstrate this in a musical example that you really, we are really in E minor now. Okay, so I went from E minor directly to this chord, and that's the sound. And the origin is, as I said, is an F instead of the E in an A minor chord. So the flat 6 of A minor instead of the fifth. And remember, in a previous lesson we talked about this adding a sixth to a subdominant chord, which is actually, the sixth is a characteristic, considered as a characteristic dissonance of this of a subdominant chord. So here also we add a 6, And also remember in classical music, an added 6, or like if we have a 6th chord, if we add, we have the 6th, so we write, for example, S, small s, with a 6, then it automatically implies that you don't have the 5th anymore. So the 6th is used instead of the 5th. If you want to have still have the 5th, you have to assign to the symbol also a 5, that you know, okay, the 5th is still in the chord, or it's also in the chord, and this is called like 6th agité, so added 6th. So the 6th, in a way, is a very very typical or characteristic tension of the subdominant, and you can also think this F as, I mean, you can come from a different angle. You can say, okay, you have just a 6th chord, like an A minor with a 6th instead of the 5th, and then you lower this 6th. I mean, this major 6th, this F sharp, you lower it to the F. So it's also a way of approaching this or explaining this Neapolitan chord. In a way, it's really this chord really sounds like a subdominant function. It has this quality. It has a root of the 4th degree, the root of the subdominant. It has a C, the minor 3rd, which is very, very characteristic and important tone of the minor subdominant. It really gives this note, really implies a lot of that subdominant minor character. Also later we will talk about the minor subdominant in major, and there this C, this minor 3rd, becomes very essential. And the way often I like to approach this Neapolitan chord, maybe it is often approached like that. I'm not sure. You come either you can come either from A minor, and this. Let me maybe first explain this Neapolitan chord usually and very, very nicely actually goes directly to the dominant, to the primary dominant, to B7, and then the whole thing will resolve to E minor. So if I have E minor, then this F of this Neapolitan chord really likes to go to D sharp of B7, the dominant. That's a very typical thing. And also this F, it's also very nice if you play it really on top as a melody. So for example, you can have you can go from the, I'll show you, from the E of the tonic directly to the F in the, and you have this F chord in the first inversion, or you have A in the bass. So so I go from E minor directly nice if I do this arpeggio. Sorry. So I do like F major in second, in the first inversion, or A minor with this F. But this is actually like when I see this chord, I'm thinking more of an F major chord, because this is the easiest, the most direct approach to understand that chord. But still, the sound is still in this A minor subdominant thing, feel, atmosphere. So, but what's nice here with this small fragment, it's also written. No, it's not written on the page, but a similar one. So to really play this arpeggio there, so F, A, C, and then resolve this F, really kind of resolving it to D sharp of the dominant 7th chord. So E minor. Okay, and also on the page you find like different examples of voicings, musical notation and analysis, how you like voice leading wise in classical music, actually how you proceed normally from the Neapolitan chord to the dominant and then to the tonic. Sometimes you can also insert, before you go to the dominant, you can also insert like a inversion of E minor before you go to the dominant. It's called in Germany it's called Vorhaltsquart Sechstakkord. So it's like a suspension. It's a suspension of the dominant by 2 notes. You suspend the third, the D sharp, with the E, and you suspend the fifth, the F sharp, with a G, and the B is just it stays. So it goes like. Typical progression, and this suspension chord here, so it's about the dominant chord, and this is called like a suspension, but at the same time this forms another chord. This forms the inversion, the second inversion of our tonic chord. So that's an E minor chord with a fifth in the bass. So, and this is a very typical progression to use when going to the tonic chord. So instead of going directly, for example, if you go like well, that's something you can do. So before, just instead of going directly, not resolving or progressing directly to the dominant, but let me play it again, like not that, but okay, so this is another possibility, another approach, going from the Neapolitan chord to the second inversion of the tonic, then go to the dominant, and then to the tonic. Of course, you can do everything. I mean, you can do all kinds of different combinations of these chords. But I think it's very, very good to know what is the most natural, the most logic and natural sounding progression, because that's mostly the progression where these chords came from. And later on, when the ear is more and more used to these sounds, they become more independent. So they use there, and more tension came. So we went away from that. But it's very good to know your roots, to know where it came from and the basis. So that also makes the music, which is maybe far more complicated, even stronger if you know about that. Okay, another thing you can add to this Neapolitan chord is if you have F, if you sing F major, you can add the minor sevenths in the E flat. But in this case, you would not call it minor sevenths, you would call it sharp 6 or augmented 6, because this is also a way to resolve directly to the tonic. So instead of going like this, you like F major to E minor. Do that because you have a fifth parallel, but this is another topic, and maybe it's not really so useful here. But anyway, I just wanted to mention it. And so you can add another leading tone. Yeah, it's actually the leading tone, the D sharp, but you put it on F major. So. So you can, with this approach, it's very natural in a way to go directly from this Neapolitan chord to the tonic. And when you are more in this strict classical music terminology, you say normally you say it's a Neapolitan sixth chord, because normally this chord is used with A in the bass, and the six actually you can why sixth? You can come from two different directions. On one hand, it's actually the sixth added instead of the fifth, the F instead of the E on this A minor chord, but it's also an F major chord as a sixth chord. We call that sixth chord, like the first inversion. Sechstakkord in German, and so two possible ways. That's maybe a bit confusing, and maybe just one way is really true, but or like from the strict theory, but what can you do? And we didn't talk about the scale actually, which we use for this Neapolitan chord, whether it's an A minor with an added flat 6, or it's an F major chord, or in a F major in the first inversion, or whatever. We use F Lydian for this chord. This is the most logical, most natural sounding scale. So F. So I play a little bit with that idea, like going from tonic to directly to the Neapolitan chord, then approach or progress to the dominant, to the B7 chord, and then resolve it to E minor, and then maybe I do it again and again, just to give you an example how that sounds. Okay, you hear this. Actually, it's a really beautiful, beautiful color. It really goes out of the tonality in a way, but when you go back to it, you have the feeling you just saw a different light, but you're still where you are. I mean, still in this tonality. It's a very nice color actually. What if you know how to handle it, and your ear gets more and more used to this beautiful sound, you will really enjoy that. So check it out, and also play all these examples here on the PDF on the page as voicing, so your ear gets used to these sounds. And I think you will be really. I think most of them, if not all, will really sound familiar in a way, and then you know, oh, okay, it's that. Oh, okay, that's a Neapolitan thing. Okay, so that's it for this lesson. If you like these lessons here on Guitar Academia, on this channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Also, you can support my channel by going down in the description below on my website. There is a button where you can donate. This would be really cool. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. My name is Huub Hildenbrand, and every Friday, a new lesson.